Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Penguin Academy of the Blood Bowl 3 World Championships. This is the play-in stage. It'll be the play-in stage for quite some time on this playlist. I'm trying to think, 64, 80 games. Oof, God, what a playlist. But this one, cross our fingers, has at least one half of the coaches playing well, because it's Mr. Jimmy Fantastic himself, the UK TC champ, the best tabletop player in the world, versus Dr. SLM and Rats. Jim playing Necro in this World Championships. I gotta stop calling it the World Cup. It's the World Championships, they've called it. Jim wins the toss and chooses to punch some rats in the face. Absolutely reasonable. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back a bit. Can we go back and look at these predetermined setups that Dr. SLM has got? Because I actually want to watch this. There's the first one. I don't know, the stealth bomber. There's the second one. The W. I don't know what that is. There's just a W. There's the third one, which seems to be the letter I. There's no letter N, sadly, GC. Would have been nice, wouldn't it, to have him just spell out win beforehand as a joke? Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. AMI. It's Ami. He spelt out the word Ami, like friend. Is that right? Have I made that up? Like, to himself. Not to his opponent, which is a bit weird. Yeah, look, there was an S. Did you see the S? There was an S. He spelt out AMIS. That is definitely what he's done, look. It's in his team name. There's the S right there. Ha! Alright. Bit of appreciation for Dr. SLM there. That's pretty cute. I mean, so, I will say that it is kind of funny that Jim sets up in the slightest of weaker anti-blitz defenses. Like, he could have been there, and then the wolf could have been there. And gets blitzed on immediately. Just an instant blitz. The smallest of cracks in setups. Like, this is a better anti-blitz defense than 99% of the defenses you'll see. It's not as tight as it should be. And the ball is immediately on the left-hand side. And a blitz. Which is hilarious. And then, just to make it funnier, he's blitzing this guy, but he's put the assist in the square that you would gain by knocking him down. Because you gain the square by going through the square that he's just put the rat in. So, like, it's not a good start to this game. Yeah, I don't know if I explained that well. So obviously he's going to blitz him, right? Which removes these tackle zones, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only one rush to get under the ball, but he stood in the square. So even if he knocks him down, he doesn't get any benefit out of knocking him down now. I mean, so that would be the reason why Jim's set up with a slightly weaker, because obviously if these guys were spread out more to the left and right, Jim would have been fully anti-blitz defense. In fact, if these guys had been over here even, I could have seen Jim putting the fleshy there on the outside, because he doesn't need it for the blocks on the LOS. So the fleshy could have gone on the outside. So I think we would have seen that from Jim. Otherwise, he's left the little crack in the setup because he basically rule of fived. It's just funny that where the ball's gone allows like the rats to take advantage of like the couple of percent that Jim's given them. Oh, the hotness. Gets pushes anyway, so wouldn't have made any difference that he's screwed up. Random rush that does nothing. Double rush to get under the ball. So the blitzes work differently in France, because that's a 4+ dodge with no dodge skill. And he's a rat coach who plays a lot of games. He's got to know. Has he played 5 years of Blood Bowl without knowing that you don't get to use skills on a blitz? Has this just found him out right there? I got a message that I can't open in a replay. So anyway, that's an obvious error, and should have killed his own gutter runner. A 4+ dodge there is absolute batshit. So what's the best plan for Jim here? Like, if you get blitzed on here, what is the best plan? I already threw that in, Jim, if you're listening. So obviously this flash is free. The wrestle is free. The wolf blitzing him is probably the best plan, even though 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's not a rush. You're okay. You can blitz him. So the wolf blitzes him. That's just guaranteed. 1, 2, 3, 4. The flashy goes up there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ugh. Double rush back in. I don't think you can do better than that. You can't afford to blitz him and go for a 4+ pickup. He has to be the blitz. He's the scoring threat, the only one. Well, he's a scoring threat, but a flashy's going to be on him, and he's not a gutter. So you have to blitz him. And then there's no way to really get... If you could go around here with the ghoul. Like, there's no guards or anything. So you could just, stick a bunch of players on this guy and have the ghoul there. But he could just red dice him out of the way and then go for the ball. Especially if you don't armor break the stripper. So I think you do have to try and get back inside a cage. Which means you will see some free ups over here. Gets the 1 in 9, which knocks him down. No armor break. Stays there. Staying there is interesting. I don't know how the cage is going to work out. I do feel like he probably could have gone there. Because you still have the back of the cage to fill in here. Like, he's going to go... actually, it's really... He has to block that way to free up the other one. could block in, and free up the fleshy, that's okay too. Big risk though, isn't it? Because if you get a push double down, you basically have to take the push, right? You can't fuck around. Oh no, that actually is a 2 dice block anyway. This one's the one. You got to move players before we take this. I don't know where he's going. Like, Jim should have decided where these were going before rolling any of these dice. Because they got to go somewhere, right? Are you going to cover the ball by going there? I don't hate it. And then he comes to be the front of the cage. And then we clear up at the end. Oh, God, he's got to do a rush to be the back of the cage. Pretty rough, but at least it covers the ball if anything goes wrong over here. Kind of hard judgment call to decide how much you're going to invest in. Okay, so we're just going in the cage and we're just hoping we don't fail. Okay, so we freed him up instead of him. It doesn't really matter which one, does it? Yeah, the problem, none of this covers the ball. But we get the pickup. And we get both rushes without a reroll. Squeaky start. But it's been recovered. Ish. I don't know why this ghoul is here and not here. That seems a bit lazy because this is just going to be a 4+ in. Should have been over here. So now you got to... The thing you got to decide here as Dr. SLM is, like, who do you move first? So you're going to get these chances, right? You're going to get 4+ and 5+ with the stripper because Jim doesn't have shoe hands on his team. So you're always going to get these chances. This one seems decent. 4+ red dice. But, like, you got to decide who you're going to move first. Who you're going to activate first. Where you're going to put people. You can't just do nothing and go for it, because you can easily fail a 4+ or the red dice. I don't like not following there. So one of the things you're going to want to do as the rats is to lock down the 4 guards. And even though that gives up a 2 dice block, the follow locks down the guard. So that's 1 guard done. Him standing up locks down another guard. So you've got 2 of the 4 guards stuck away from the ball. Makes the dodge, makes the 4+, fails the reds, and fails the reds again. It's not quite the 90-odd% failure, because he's got block and he doesn't. This is why, like, European rats are worse than American rats for Sol. In America, regularly, rats are tiered with a stack available, and this guy would have wrestle. I mean, it wouldn't have helped there. That would have been a 90-odd% failure. But it's not in this case. I don't actually know where the failure is when you haven't got block. But it's considerably lower than the 90-odd% failure if you have wrestle. So this now should allow Jim to fully consolidate, stabilize over near his team, because he didn't stand him up. So he's not based. He's not based. The whole team can just be over here together now. All of the guards together. I might even blitz him to free up both of these and just to get a wolf on the tackle blitzer. Oh, it looks like Jim's going to blitz the gutter. Although he has set it up to not be 3 into 3. Oh, no, he can go forward in that way. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, you can, because you end up there, right? You'll end up there. Okay, so it can be 3 into 3 this way. Ooh, okay. Neither of these have block. I would have just gone over here, I think. I mean, that's a ropey block. It's a real ropey block. Maybe wake up a bit before playing the game next time. That's a 1 in 81. That's an absolute disaster, isn't it? Yeah, but it's completely unnecessary. You had a full team. Completely unnecessary. And it's only 1 in 81. 1 in 9, you have to use the reroll. So there's a 1 in 9 chance of just burning a reroll. Oh God, we're surfing. Oh no. That's why we risked it. We risked the entire World Cup to try and surf. Get out. Fucking Devo clone. Deserved. Absolutely deserved, Kaz. Are we blitzing with the Roger here? This looks like a Roger blitz, right? Putting in 2 assists. Doesn't get the pow. Doesn't get the pow. Okay. Takes the double down. Can't use wrestle because he's got Juggernaut. Assuming that, Blood Bowl is coded correctly. I don't know. Didn't want to take the push because it gets him either surfed or clawed. I don't think it gets him surfed, right? But it gets him clawed, definitely. And then stuns himself and does nothing to the ghoul. Amazing. By the way, I hated that. Why are you doing that? I get it's 3 dice, but 3 dice on a Roger is 40%. When you haven't got block, like, it's still just 40%. Juggernaut into wrestle does nothing if you haven't got block. So yeah, that was bad. I don't like that at all. Yeah, it didn't stand these up. Could have just blitzed him, right? Oh, we could. I mean, I assume, seeing as Jim's going full Devo, that his plan for this turn is to surf this gutter. Oh, no, we're going to surf the body of the Blitzer. Even more Devo-y. I love it. I absolutely love it that both of those failed. Okay, so what are you doing if you're the rats, other than laughing at Jim's inability to surf anything? Possibly can't really, because you can't really risk the dodge blitz, right? With 2 rerolls, I think you just have to dodge there. So who is the blitz here? It's going to be the blitzer on just this zombie, I guess. And then he dodges out, and then last action, he dodges out. Alternative is to stand these up and blitz there, but then if you don't get the armor break, he just stands. You could, like, stand these up, blitz there. If you do get the POW, foul him. Like, it's a +3 foul on a fleshy that frees up half your team. So not the worst. Instead, we're blitzing a zombie. Okay, so one of the things that you really shouldn't do is dodge the guy that's on the floor before you dodge the guy who's standing. Because if he snakes, he gets surfed. And he makes the dodge. So, yeah, I was going to say he's going to do the dodge with the other rats. I don't really like doing the dodge with the other rats, but the problem is because this guy's on his own, if he just stands them up, what's Jim's likely to do is blitz him and then go and back him up so he can block one of the rats. So it doesn't really get him anything standing up. If he doubled up here maybe with these two, then possibly he could have stood these up and not dodged. This one doesn't need the dodge now. Okay. Are we... what are we... Are we going there? And we can't blitz from there. So we don't get any extra chain out of this or anything. What are we doing? Why? Why? I mean, where are these going? Like, this is a thing? Why aren't one of these protecting this ball? Come on, that's not good enough. That rush wasn't good enough either. Yeah, but he could have just gone here. That's a 1 in 36 to get sacked. Like, fully, properly sacked. Not happy with any of this. Too many risks when you're the better coach here. What's he doing? Like, why did he go there? Like, you've gone there. That's just a 2 dice block. Oh, he's blitzing with the Roger again, isn't he? And now he's gone there. The stripper, who you don't want to get hit at all. Okay. Didn't kill the guard. That's what people were talking about in your chat. He rolled an 8. And because he's prone, his skills don't count. So Mighty Blow didn't break the armor. It's turn 5. Jim's got to get a move on you. He's faffed around a bit. I mean, it's not the. I don't think it's the Roger. It's anyone, right? It's just the Roger is who it comes in with. If you try to stand up a big guy who has pro, you don't get to pro it. If you try to pro a Bloodlust when a vampire's on the ground, you don't get to pro it. Like, pro doesn't work when you're lying down because it's a skill. When you're prone, you don't get to use your skills. Thank you for the follow. Primal Parasaur. It's a fun Twitch name. It does depend on the skill, but that's the case in all cases, isn't it? Like, you still have some like traits or whatever, which are skills by a different name, when you hypnode or boneheaded. Like, it doesn't take away, like, Thick Skull, which is a skill. All right, 3 into 2 on the wrestle. The 3 gets the POW. Cheeky 40%. No armor break. And Jim offering up the free surf to keep the Roger out of the play. I think you take it if you're the rats here. You've probably got enough rats that you can get in the way properly. Because he can dodge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can get the Roger back to there. That's pretty decent for the following turn. And the rats all stand in their usual annoyance way. So I think you take that. I think this would have just been better there, right? This does the same thing. It's not going to 1 dice. So it does the same thing and doesn't get him surfed. So it keeps the Roger if he rolls pushes. He's not going to 1 dice because this guy can just 1 in 36 to come over here and he might be needed. If he 1 dices, he stays there. It's a pretty terrible 1 dice. There's the surf. This guy's a square too far forward. He should be one up right there. Same screen. Doesn't re-roll that. It's turn 6 for Jim. This feels like a really strong... If he was one up especially, this feels like a really strong dodge to try and stop the score. If he makes this dodge and goes there or something, and this guy's one up, it feels like Jim has to jam down into the cage. Like, has to. Which is probably your best bet anyway. You also, if you're gonna dodge there, you could have just tagged this zombie, because Jim's just gonna re-tag the Roger here with this zombie, and so the Roger's still out of the play. So that's also something that it might be worth the reroll. I think at this point you kind of want to be thinking about stopping the score. Because, I guess, so one of the things that could be affecting how he's playing this drive is, despite Jim playing Necro, SLM's probably used to worse coaches, and he still thinks he can one-turn. But, like, Jim's going to make the one-turn, like, super hard. So I'd much rather be investing in stopping the score, which is still possible here with this amount of rats on the pitch. So there we go, first action, immediately. I don't like the blitz. Feels like you could have blitzed him and got the same results, but not had to worry about a 1 in 9. I guess this one allows you to go more central, but I don't think that matters much. It's forward motion that matters. This is the thing that Necro excel at, isn't it? Like, this is like good solid, like, push forward from Jim. This is what they excel at. Like, they're really good at. They're better than dwarves at it, at just jamming in and claiming that space. But they can only claim so much, right? Especially against rats who can just dodge away. They're only claiming basically 2 squares. And with 2 turns left to go, 2 squares might not be enough. Oh, he stood him up. That's really interesting. I don't think standing him up is the right play. Surely he's a last action dodge. Okay. I don't like this. I know why he's done it. It's because the Roger's going to blitz. But if we go back and look, he could have blitzed. Like, he could have blitzed. And if he blitzes and even gets a push, pushes the zombie up, you can activate the Roger and hit him. So you can put the Roger exactly where you want. Whereas if the Roger blitzes now, he doesn't have block. If he rolls pushes into pushes, he's in the wrong square. And the Roger's in the wrong square? So you've taken 2 of your own defensive players out of the drive? So I think I would have just blitzed with him if that was the plan. And guaranteed that I get to put the Roger where I want to put the Roger. Because on a 4+, you don't even hit your own player anyway. Wrestle the ball with like a 5+ dodge in red dice? Nah. Hopefully next turn, like, Jim's cage isn't as solid because he has to push forward more. And you might have a chance of going in for the strip or wrestle. See, this is a lot more solid if, like, he comes out here. Right? Like, if he makes that dodge at the end of the turn and comes off to the right, it's a lot more solid. It's turn 6, Dembeek. He's fine being passive. Jim is going to struggle to get into proper range. If he'd made this dodge and he rolls a POW and he makes the dodge, this is like a real... Like, Jim's, what, pushing through this guy and having to roll POWs and, like, jamming up a sideline? Like, you can easily see that this turn could go real badly for Jim. Because he hasn't done enough damage to the rats. And there's the first problem. There's one push. And there's the second one. And that is why you don't do that. Just blitz with the lino. And then he snakes, although he's a 1 in 9, he rolled a snake. Snakes the dodge. And now, absolutely blatant opening, which would have been rocked, which would have been shut down by the Roger. Just would guaranteed to be shut down by the Roger. He'd have just eaten his own lino. Having to go through the strength 5 guy would have been much more annoying for Jim because he has to have 2 assists. In fact, if you'd moved the Roger there, I would even have left the Blitzer on the Fleshy. Much more... Right, imagine this turn, but he pushed him. The Roger stands here, and he leaves him on the Fleshy. Like, Jim then is probably looking at having to block and knock down a block piece and go this way. Which is much rougher because you probably can't get a full cage this side. And if you do get a full cage, if he does get the dodge in, Jim will be in Chunt's column. So, way stronger if he just done that. But yeah, just assuming he'd rolled a POW, it's like success state thinking. We're being a little greedy here, aren't we? Again. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Greedy twat. 2 blockless blocks. You can't, and you've even got to do this before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you've even got to do this before because he's got to go through his square. Could you not, like, I'm pretty certain that you could have been less greedy about that and maybe made that like a 6+ dodge in. I'm not certain what you had to do there for that. Maybe not. Maybe you'd have ended up with just a YouTube cage. Or, yeah, maybe you could have done, because you could have gone in and then blitzed off, right? And come back. Probably could have made that a 6+ dodge into the, like, with the thing rather than trying to hit him. You haven't got Mighty Blow. There was no real guarantee of, like, breaking armor there. But it worked, therefore good. And with no chance of stripping the ball, not worth doing anything crazy like a 5+ dodge into red dice with wrestle or anything. Dr. SLM decides to go all in on the one turn and run away. We're just... Okay, we're just risking the quads. It's fine. They happen, as we laughed at earlier, but for damage purposes, when he hasn't done any, I could see the risk. It's a shitty Lino, to be fair, so maybe I wouldn't have done it in a match that mattered. So now we get to see the interest in one turn. I know how Jim sets up for this, so it's not that interesting for me. So the only change I would do here from Jim is possibly put the fleshy on. I guess it doesn't matter. You just go this way. So this is nice, right? So the reason for this is obviously they have Juggernaut. So the sidesteppers can't be used. Juggernaut doesn't do anything about that. So you have to use the flashy. And you can only get the flashy. You can only get the flashy twice, because only the Juggernaut can move him. And you need 2 pushes. So the best way to... The only real way to do that is to blitz with the Roger from one of these 2 squares. So the sidestepper, if they get hit, are going to go into that square. And if they get hit and, like, wrestled with the wrestler there, when they go down, you still can't go through his square. So you still protect these squares. So from the rat coach's point of view, you have to immediately solve the problem of how to use the Roger when you can't blitz from these squares. Because the only way you're going to get a blitz from these squares is removing the Wraith, which you obviously can't fucking rely on, right? That's crazy. So you can solve it-ish. Like, it's not like you can't. But it's real hard. Like, it's real hard. No, Dembeek, as I just said, a knockdown, because the Wraith gets to choose where to go. If he goes in that square, you can only blitz the Roger from this square. So how are you filling this square? And if you just leave a gap here, you don't get the second push. You only get 1 push. Would I even attempt this? Yeah, I'd absolutely attempt this. It's not... Will someone explain to Dembeek that it's not okay? Thank you, Basic. Right. So for me, I think... Oh my god, Dembeek. Like, shush. You're an idiot. You're wrong. Like, nothing you're saying is right. Oh, for God's sake. Dembeek, do you honestly think you're right and we're wrong? Are you just hoping for like a reverse quad skulls situation in real life? Okay. You pat. Let's just say this, Dembeek. You pat. We'll do this. I don't mind a pause. You pow this wraith. He lands in this square because Jim gets to choose. Then what? What's next? We fucked up the setup already. What? Okay, it doesn't matter what the setup is. If you pow the wraith, he's going in one of these two squares. So what happens after that? You jump in a gutter. So when you said it's an easy solve... That's not an easy solve, is it? You can already just dodge into the squares. We know how to do it if you make the dodges. Nobody thinks this is impossible, but you've already just rolled a POW, which is 55%. You got one reroll, you're doing a 4+ jump. So now we're below 50%. You need the 75% pushes on the first one. Then you're going to end up with the gutter on someone. You have to give him the ball. You have to dodge through the line. That's another 4+, and a 3+, and 2 rushes. It's not like you can't do it. It's that this is really fucking difficult. So we get the POW. So we jump the gutter in here. That's what you wanted, right? But you got to hit the other wraith. Because otherwise you need this square filled. And this square filled. So you need to hit the other wraith. With this square filled, if you want to blitz from this square, you need these squares filled. So it's not one POW, you need another POW. So if you need a POW here and a POW here, because Dembeek thinks you just need this square filled, but you don't. You need these squares filled. Because you can't blitz from this square. And like you can't leave a hole here because you need 2 pushes. So he does a 4+ dodge, and he still has to go here. So he needs to take this block. And if he gets a POW, sure, he can now fill this square. And then he can blitz from here. So you need to POW both wraiths. Because if you don't POW the second wraith, you can't get into this square. You don't 6+ dodge. Anyway, sorry to Jim for explaining what you actually have to do there for the next person that Jim sets up against. And sorry for dunking on Dembeek, who just was wrong. Can we talk about this setup? What is this rat setup right here? A please lose on a blitz setup? What the hell is this? I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? And I literally don't know what it is. It's so odd. Not just the block. You kind of have to get 2 POWs, Tempest. Anyway, there's 32 games. I can't just spend 32 games saying like exactly why these setups are wrong. If you this is the only one you've watched, I'm sorry you don't know why this is wrong. Watch one of the others. This is obviously a terrible setup. Also, I don't think it's a good strat. This looks like he's just set up to fight Jim, which seems like a terrible idea. I don't think Dackering against Jim's a great idea when Jim knows how to defend it and has Necro. But also, but fighting is an even worse idea, so I'd probably still Dacker. Yeah, for most people, sure. But, like, what else are you going to do? What's better than Dakarin? Fighting seems worse. Do-si-doing, just as bad. Just because the Daka is difficult versus Necro and versus a good player with Necro doesn't make it the wrong strat, right? I'm very worried that he's going to pick up with the thrower here. I mean, I see the reasoning. Overtime format, you don't want to burn a reroll. But like 1 in 9 versus 1 in 36 when the ball landed close. Real rough to eat. That's what I mean by regularly. Like, if you think that your odds of turning Jim over on a long drive are better than a Daka, then you've just never heard of him. Well, didn't 1 in 9, ball is safe. And now Jim just bases everyone and you have to worry. Yes, it could be the play. It's not easy though, because you have to get behind the Wraith. So you still would have to do a 4+ dodge. And I don't know how easy it would be to fill enough squares after that to get a double push on a sidestepper. I'd have to look at it in like BB pusher. But it is possible with 11 rats, I think. Emphasis on think. It's not so much as that it's like you just have to POW both like wraiths, Chaz. That's the problem with it. Like that's why it's tough. You have to POW both wraiths. You don't get any more opinions on the 1 turn, Dambeak. You've been banned from opinions on that 1 turn. I don't make the rules. Kind of interested why Jim didn't put the sidestepper here and not allow the 3+ out. A little bit weird. But other than that, exactly what you'd expect, right? He's just herp-derped the front line. And now this guy would have been this guy if he wasn't stunned, and this guy are all in trouble. You know, like this one? I mean, he wasn't going to do a rush, right? Was he? Was it a rush? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have gone behind him. You think he's too far? What, like too far this way? Like you'd have left him like back there or something. I think he'd be better here. I mean, I'm not too worried about like the left-hand side, right? This one is worse. This one should be here. I have no idea why he's not. Ball goes back. Dodges. 3 dice with the Roger. And there's the stun. I mean, and now we're just doing a shit Dacker anyway. Could have blocked with the tackle blitzer. The problem is it's only a 2 dice. And if you roll pushes, you're just pushing Jim's just going to go here. Probably couldn't reach him with the Roger. You're not going to do a rush. So it doesn't really free him at that point, does it? He's still on the Wraith. But not a terrible plan to just get him off. And that's the dodge that Jim shouldn't have allowed for free. Go in there. It doesn't leave a dodge. The wolf is behind the fleshy. It doesn't leave a gap, I mean. Okay, and now Jim just gets to punch some things, which he, shouldn't get to punch. And he just bases up again, right? Oh, you mean for next turn? Like, he has to put a Lino next to him if he wants to blitz with the Roger. There isn't one currently next to him. Yeah, that's true. Blitzing him? Wait. Did Jim forget the blitz? Man, I'm assuming he just changed his mind halfway through the turn of what he was going to do. Because he could have just blitzed with him, right? I mean, there is space. You don't like that. That's the problem with not blitzing. I kind of thought that he was doing this. He was going to blitz here, which would have still left space, right? Because he has to follow with the wolf. So I think this guy should have blitzed. Because the zombie could have gone there then, and then he blitzes, and he closes the gap, right? Because now he can blitz the fleshy with the Roger, and then go through this gap. Assuming you roll a pow on the 4 dice. He is guard, though, so he doesn't need to do that. He could put the wrestler in there and just roll a pow with him. If you blitz the zombie with the Roger, everyone has to go round the fleshy. Oh, okay, we're just lobbing some rats up the field. And we're blitzing the ghoul. Okay. And rolling double pows, obviously. Doesn't get an armor break, which Jim will be very happy about. Rando dodge, as usual for agility players. Oh, double Durando dodge. Love it. Wait, what's happening? Oh, we're making a screen. We're moving the ball this turn? How is that screen going to help? This is a lot of dice. Oh, okay. I don't know what's happening. Other than the circle around our rat has gone full disco in fucking Inferno mode. Look at that. I thought we were making a screen and like giving the ball and going up here, and then I realized the screen actually doesn't matter at all. So I really don't understand why he just rolled all those dice. I mean, that's so odd. Why'd he roll all those dice? I'm rocking in my seat trying to work out what the fucking point of that was. But he'd still be a scoring threat on this side of the pitch. Why did he purposefully roll 2 dodges and 2 rushes to be standing there? What am I missing? That's a thing that matters. The Roger can get 2 dice, can't it? Because when that stands up, that's a 2 dice, allowing this guy to be an assist. And then one of these zombies just goes there, and that's just a 2 dice block. Another 1 in 9 on a... It doesn't get him at... Oh, I thought he would base this one. Feels like you should base this one. Because it also feels like there might be some kind of, like, scoring play on here. So you might as well, like, force him to roll some dice for that to happen. There are bribes in play as well, so if this gets wrestled even, like, it's not a bad foul, is it? If it gets powed, even better. Okay, he takes the push, not the wrestle. I guess he didn't want to wrestle because he's in the way of this play. But if Jim was worried about this play, why didn't he base the gutter? Could even have double based the gutter. I mean, you kind of want him to score, so maybe Jim didn't base him on purpose. But if in that case, why didn't he wrestle and foul the gutter, the Roger then? Because he would make it easier to score, and he gets the foul. Jim took a long time to decide whether to wrestle or push. Interesting. I wonder what was going through his head. I mean, you know what just went through my head, so... Yeah, but equally, if you want him to score, you take the wrestle, right? Maybe he's thinking that it's more chance of him burning a reroll while scoring if he leaves the wrestle there. Like, I think I would be thinking there's more chance of him having a dead Roger if I foul it. All right, we're doing the... Oh, wait a minute. What the fuck, game? I can't even pause. I don't know what happened. I can't even pause now. It's lucky I'm doing these for analysis purposes, isn't it? I'll be honest with you. Like, it's crazy that replays are broken while a world championship is going on. And why can't I pause? Why? What the hell is this? Oh, cyanide. This is just nonsense, isn't it? I might have to put these... Is it any, like, has it been any word from cyanide that these are getting fixed?
Should have still followed though, because at least.
There you go. I just wanted to open Jim's stream to keep up my streak. Wait. Classic cyanide. So nothing's changed. All of the problems are still there, but cyanide have told you they're fixed. No, they're not completely fixed, Iron. They're the same level of broken that they were before. Okay, well, anyway, Dr. SLM scored there, which gives Jim a short drive. Like, to be fair, against an entire team of rats, he's done no damage and taken two removals himself. Luckily, he's got 2 bench, so he's 11v11. So it's Jim's game to lose at this point, isn't it? Even 7 turns is classed as a short drive, Dembeek. So the ball went off the pitch. And I would like to point out that Jim, after getting blitzed on in the first half, has a working brain and was like, hey, this time I will set up in a full anti-blitz defense rather than just having a goldfish memory like most people who get blitzed on. So congratulations, I get to say something good. It does, Dion. It just appeared now and in the last replay, and you can get rid of it like you could before by going to a kickoff. It goes away on a kickoff. So if you just skip forward and backwards and over a kickoff, it'll get rid of it. So it depends what teams you are, but for the most part, you shouldn't fear the solid defense. Especially like the teams that you fear the blitz against the most don't have anything you'd care about on a solid defense compared to how dangerous a blitz is. Like rats and elves, who cares if they get a solid defense and base your zombie or whatever, compared to the risk of a blitz in the corner and you made it too easy. Like it's okay to be more worried the other way round. Like when you're the elves or whatever and you're setting up an anti-blitz defense, but they're like rats especially because they want line rats on the front and dodging line rats sucks. But elves can just get based, right? And 2+ away. So there's only a few teams that need to weigh up the solid D versus blitz. And for the most part, unless if it's a ladder game or something, but for the most part, if the result matters the most, you full anti-blitz. Because that's the thing that loses you the game way more than a solid D. Like, a solid D is forcing you to roll a 3 or whatever. But, like, you don't lose, right? Whereas a blitz, you just lose if the other team catch the ball. And, like, you know, and it's the cure or whatever. Like, you just lose. It's insane that everyone doesn't set up against a blitz, but no one listens, right? Only so many people watch, like, streams. Oh, okay. It's kind of interesting. I thought he was going to chain him off so there was no blocks. But he's going in to push forward again. I don't hate it. It's fine, isn't it? Okay, I would have gone there, I guess. I mean, I guess it's quite a long drive, so... Oh, he hasn't blitzed yet. Sorry, I was distracted. Pretty risky blitz, that, isn't it? If you get pushes, you're going to get your wolf, like, based on the second one. So pretty risky blitz. Like... But he also can't blitz him, because pushes into pushes gets him surfed. So, like, there's no better blitz, maybe. Maybe you just blitz with someone who isn't the wolf at that point. I mean, other than the wolf, Super G, I think you probably could have gone for a less risky blitz and it would have been fine. Possibly better. Is he trying to hit him with the Roger? I wish he'd stop blitzing the foul appearance guys with the Roger. Alright, so he's rolled a 1. Knocks out his own player. Doesn't Apo it? Doesn't Apo it. It's... Okay. Bit strange. And then rolls a 1 on a foul appearance anyway. So, just removes his own player and doesn't get the blitz. Amazing. Good job. What do you mean, basic? They're the most reliable big guy in the game. We were told that when Blood Bowl 2020 starts. Like, everyone was like, oh, man, with Animal Savagery and, like, the thing, Blood Rogers are now amazing. Guaranteed blitzes. And sensible people were like, yeah, that's really what I want to do is, like, eat my own players on a team that dies to attrition. Three into 2 on a blodger. Gets the 40 straight away. And a removal. There's the Apo this time. So that's how I used to, like, when Underworld were good and I played Underworld, I played them in the first World Championship and won money, just saying. That's how I used the Roger. I would never sacrifice. Like, people always were like, oh, well, you've got snotlings. Like, don't want to eat snotlings. They already die all the time. I would just burn the, like, you know, 1 blitz every 6. Because you don't always blitz with the Roger. Like, there are some turns where you're blitzing with your blitzer or whatever. So, like, maybe 1 blitz a half you lose. And if it's an important blitz, then you do it your own player anyway. So, like, that's the correct way to use him, I think. Yeah, I like putting him... Oh, okay. I thought he was going to go there. Would I have based the Roger here? Turn 13? Maybe. Maybe. Because we're going to take this block, right? So even on pushes, the Roger... Sure. Like, he could do that. That's what I'm saying. Thank you very much, Stolen. Nice to see you back, mate. recommended streamer here for people in chat. So he can just go and base him with this zombie at the end. But also, you don't know what's going on here. He's not going to re-roll a 1 in 9 here, is he? Or he might, I guess. But it could be a 1 in 81. And he can't base the Roger until he takes this block. Whereas if he goes in right there, then he's based no matter what. And yeah, okay, you've left your fleshy behind. But you can bring the zombie over and it gives you extra players. And the Roger's out of the fight then. I don't mind doing that, just guaranteed, rather than relying on this blockless block. I think I probably would have followed there. And he has to do a rush to do it because he didn't get a POW. So there's that action too. Yeah, I think I would have just followed. It's not like he's got the fleshy anyway, is it? Also, if you stand the guard up here, this is a 2 dice block. A 2 dice blitz that can chain him onto the ball and force him to be blocked by the blockless block and frees up the Roger anyway. Sure, the tackler is stuck, but the tackler's almost definitely not going to get at the ball. Like, the tackler is a blitzer, right? Jim's not leaving that open. This guy was the guy who was going to get at the ball, and I think this turn, by the way, is a terrible turn to go for that. Absolutely terrible turn to go for that. The ball is completely... Well, now he's going to have to try and go for it, because he's just killed his own tackler, for that strip baller, for no reason. Like, you wait. Like, this is too early. This is just simply too early. Because if this fails, which is, like, likely because of the lack of wrestle on him, so it's a 5+ dodge into double 3s. If this fails, then Jim just gets to, wander up the pitch. And the likelihood is, though, if it fails, he either gets fouled or he breaks his own armor. And now you're just stuck with nothing to stop him. He's not going to come back until turn, 15. Too late. So, terrible choice. He should have waited, because Jim's not going to be as safe as this, next turn, right? If you take your blitzes and stuff, Jim has to jam into you and push forward. He's not going to be as safe as this next turn. I think I would have put him there. I guess it does. I guess it doesn't matter, because he's not a gutter, so I guess it doesn't matter. It's a 6+ dodge in regardless. Like, it matters to him, but if you base him, that's still 2 red dice, not 3. So it doesn't. He's not coming round the top to avoid guard. So I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Ignore me. Maybe. Maybe you could have put him there, though. Maybe that matters, right? Putting him there on this side. Oh, maybe that matters. Interesting. Little choices like that are just, you know, fun things to talk about. So if you put him there, it weakens this back square because it's a 4+ dodge for a gutter. But, like, the only gutter that's going to do that is the wrestle, right? You're not going to dive in and hope for a reverse 1 in 36 with either of these two. That seems insane. So if he goes there, that makes the top, well, he can't go in that way, and it makes the top a top a 6+ dodge, even for a gutter. So he'd have to dodge him out and then come in for a 3-5 this way wrestle, and he can't cancel guards, so that would be a 3 red dice. So I think here's actually strong. And he's still not doing it. He stood there for some reason instead of there. Either of these could have gone there. Leaving this front open to wrestle reds. Good cheeky foul on one of the gutters. Gets rid of the blodge gutter for the turn. So that second dodge was completely irrelevant, right? He only needs to tag one of them. Tagging them both doesn't do anything. So he could have just gone there or there. Oh, what? Oh, that's why we're doing it? What was he rolling there? A 3+, 6+, 5+. That's... Surely that's worse than just wrestling him. Yes, this is desperation mode, but I feel like the wrestle has better odds than that. The wrestle is a 55% dodge into a 25% sack, which you can re-roll. So that's a 40% sack or something. So 55 into 40 gives you about a 20% chance of a sack. There's no way that a 3+, 6+, 5+ ends up at a 20%. Like, so yeah, that's something that happened. Might want to get a new odds calculator, Dr. SLM. Jim. So, just to be clear, Jim is not technically wrong in that he always picks this one. It's just really fucking annoying. So, Jim is not technically wrong, right? It is better to pick this one because there is a chance that your opponent misclicks. But, like, fuck off. Don't do it. Just pick the arrow. Get on with your day. Oh. Oh, yeah, he's put the ball in the wrong square, hasn't he? The ball should be one back. He can't get to the front corners, so he's just made a... So, here's the thing, right? Jim will hate himself for that missed square. Will absolutely be kicking himself that's stupid. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he has to do a rush to make a cage now, which obviously is terrible. If he puts the wrestle top left and he doesn't make top right, it's still easier because this cage is open then. It should be tight, right? It should just be a tight cage. There's no reason for it not to be a tight cage. But this is the kind of thing, by the way, that Jim and I both agree on. Like, this is objectively wrong. Like, there's no reason for it to not be here. It's just better here. And it's the difference of one square. And that's the arguments we've had with, like, Team England, or the disagreements we've had with Team England. Like, Purple Goose complained, like, you know, that we bang on about, like, the difference in one square. It's like, yeah, like, that's the difference between good and bad. Like, it's literally a game of squares. Like, that's the game you're playing. You see these things that are on the pitch? They're squares. And which one you pick is important. And this one will have made Jim depressed. And this one will have made Jim happy. Oh, absolutely. It's like Jim's not an idiot, right? The second that he clicks on another player, and it will immediately be like, I fucked this up. And even worse, that's the wrong... He's fucked that up twice. That guy should be there. In case he fails with whatever this is. He fucked up twice. He could have done. Obviously, he just didn't notice it until after he clicked the players. Probably didn't notice it until he clicked this zombie and realized he'd miscounted. Like, so it's not that he's compounded his error by not realizing it before moving the ghoul. He'll realize it when he clicks on this zombie. That's when he's realized it, look. Because he's going to do a rush with the zombie, and he is trying to block the wrestler from getting to the ball without rolling any dice. So these are free moves. Because if he tries to do a rush to fix it and fails, he's making it worse, isn't he? So he's not rolling any dice. He's going to move this one too, I'm guessing. He's going to make it difficult to get to the ball for free first before he rolls dice to complete this cage. So this is him having realized that he fucked up and he's trying to fix it. Or, well, trying to mitigate his own error rather than just rolling dice. So this is good, right? This is like an experienced player understanding that they've made a mistake. I think this one would have been better going here, no? To force him to go round him. If he wants to go this way. And to start with the dodge. So he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he already has to, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the play, isn't it? He does the 1 in 9 here. And then the 4 plus into reds here. I mean, it's still way too easy. Like, Jim will hate this. And you know, I would have hated it if I'd fucked it up too. Like, we all make mistakes. I've probably made worse than this in the last few days. Like, you know it as soon as you do it. And then you try to, like, you know, fix it as best you can. Maybe even going in front of him was better to force him to dodge backwards, or because like coming this way isn't good because you have to do a 3-3-2 through the ranks, or a 3-3-4. It's now okay. Never mind. He's worried about that way. So it was a 3-3-4, and he doesn't have any rushes. So I guess that's the issue that he was worried about. Maybe he didn't need to worry about the tackler, and he could have used this one to block there and then this one to block that way. That was probably better, right? He's worried about the tackler, but the tackler's not doing shit. 4 plus 5 plus red dice. Reverse 1 in 9. Don't care about that, right? Fails everything. Fails the rush, fails the dodge. Jim breathes a sigh of relief that his fuck up didn't destroy everything. So yeah, Jim wins the first round. Dr. SLM goes into loser's bracket. And, you know, we talked a lot about Jim's mistakes there. But those mistakes were all fairly minor. Like, even that mistake at the end, fairly minor, right? And he noticed it himself and mitigated the mistake himself, rather than just rolling dice, did the right thing. If I Penguin Academy in my own games, you'll see those mistakes. We all make mistakes. None of us put 50 hours a week into Blood Bowl to Magnus Carlsen it. This is the amount of mistakes that any top players will make. I mean, just because I disagree with things doesn't mean I wouldn't have made different mistakes that Jim would have disagreed with if he Penguin Academy'd my game. I thought Jim was a bit too greedy when he was the favourite in this matchup, in my opinion, in the first half. But other than that, decent game. Like, Dr. SLM wasn't terrible, was he? So we will see you next time. Certainly better than the first two, anyway.